The Lakers are down in the dumps right now. They've lost 6 of their last 8 games, and they got blown out by the Miami Heat by 41 points. It doesn't get much worse than that. However, there is some silver lining, and I think the Lakers can bounce back if they take advantage of this huge, huge opportunity. Before we get into it, if you guys can do me a huge favor and drop a like on the video, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future Lakers and other sports content. So like I said before, the Lakers are in a really bad way right now. The chemistry seems off, the competitive spirit is non-existent, and to top it off, your 2 best players aren't performing at their best, which unfortunately the way this roster is built is pretty much a necessity in order for the Lakers to compete damn near every game. When you look at Anthony Davis, you can tell that he is visibly frustrated. He started out the season really strong, MVP candidate for sure. But in his last 2 games, he's not only scoring less than 15 points, but he's averaging less than 40% from the field. That is so unlike AD, man. You know, it's just, you can just really tell it's bothering him. It's hurting his mental. They're losing games. He puts a lot of the burden on himself, as he should. As he should. I mean, he's one of the best players on the team. Again, the expectation between him and JJ and a lot of us that know what AD is capable of is MVP caliber play. And he just has not been bringing it for the past couple games. And on top of that, we're losing consecutive games. So he's super frustrated. LeBron James did have a bit of a bounce back game, which is good to see. Yes, he got dragged through the internet about being old. He's regressing. He should retire. You can clearly see Father Time, winning. All this stuff, which is ridiculous. And what do you know? He bounces back. In the first half, he dropped 18 points. He shot, I believe it was 8 of 11 from the field. Super efficient. And he finally broke his cold streak from beyond the arc. So LeBron James did have a bounce back game against the Miami Heat. But unfortunately, it was kind of 1-on-5 at that point. There wasn't much production on either side of the ball from the rest of the team, as you could tell by the score. But if you keep up with the Lakers pretty regularly, I'm telling you stuff that you, for the most part, already know. But I did mention earlier that the Lakers have an opportunity, a big opportunity that they have to take advantage of. So what is that? Well, if you look at the schedule, the Lakers are playing the Hawks tomorrow, actually, December 6th. And then they play the Trailblazers on December 8th. Now, the next game after that, unfortunately, they do have to fly back out to Minnesota on December 13th. But if you notice, there's a stretch of time to where they don't have any games. Again, they're playing again on Sunday, December 8th. And after that, they have a solid 4 days off before they have to play the Minnesota Timberwolves on December 13th. Why is this such a big opportunity? Well, what the Lakers need right now is to reconnect as a group and get back to the basics. They need to find that chemistry again. They need to get everybody on the same page. And it is difficult to do that when you're playing game after game after game. That type of realignment predominantly happens when you're not playing games, right? When do you see players have the most progress in their game? The off season, when they're not playing. It's when they can actually spend time on the details, put in the work. In season, obviously, it's very difficult to do. But when you have a stretch like this, it's a keen opportunity. You have to practice the fundamentals, get back on the same page, relook at your sets, your X's and O's, your game plan, and make sure that everybody from top to bottom, starting at the coach with JJ, all the way down to the last man on the bench, making sure that we are all on the same page. That's exactly what the Lakers need right now. You can tell that the buy-in is just not there, and JJ needs this stretch to get his team back in place, to get them focused, so that way they can hit the reset button and get back to their winning ways. That I believe it was 5 or 6 game win streak was definitely the high of the season. And you could tell everybody was chirping on defense. Things were moving, things were clicking. There was a high, so to speak. And that's what it's like when you're winning. But unfortunately, now they're down in the dumps. And it's not very often that you have a chance to reset before the All-Star break. That's really when things start to happen. When you can start to calm down and reset and start getting readjusted is the All-Star break, where guys can just kind of let their hair down a little bit and reconnect as a group. But in this stretch, again, they have 4 days off, consecutive days off before they have to play again. And JJ and the rest of the team, and obviously the leaders and LeBron and AD, they have to take full advantage of it. Now, here's something else that I want to bring to your attention. When you get blown out by 40 points, that's effort, that's competitiveness. Essentially, those are issues that don't really concern the roster. But it's also very clear that this roster needs an upgrade. So, if you were to bring someone onto the team that's new to the JJ Redick, that's new to the system, that's new to the players, what better time to do it, obviously before the trade deadline, than in a stretch where you have no games to be played, you can just focus on practicing and getting everyone on the same page. Don't you think it's a little funny that that timeline is kind of lining up the way it is? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but if a trade were to be done urgently, like this team needs, this would be the perfect time to do it. Maybe over the weekend. I don't know. If I'm Rob Pelinka, that's what I would be aiming for. If I can get a trade done over the weekend, just in time for that person to, do whatever they got to do, maybe clear waivers depending on what their contract situation is. I doubt it, but because we're like a quarter into the season, and whoever we trade for, they're going to be playing plenty of games. Bring them in as soon as possible, right during this stretch where you have 4 solid days of just work. You can just focus on the details and get that new person acclimated to the system. So that way, when we're back to playing Minnesota, they're, for the most part, hitting the ground running. It's going to be very difficult for any person, no matter who they are, no matter how well they fit on paper. It's going to be difficult for them to hit the ground running. But if you had to take advantage of an opportunity to get them as caught up as possible, this would be it. Tell me I'm wrong. Now, you guys, if you follow my channel, obviously if you don't, please go ahead and subscribe. Really appreciate it. But those of you that do follow my channel, you already know where I'm going. I'm going to die on this hill. Zach LaVine, Walker Kessler. That, in my opinion, is the best move that the Lakers can make to not only help us compete for a championship now, but to put us in a good position to still compete and still have a competitive roster for when LeBron James retires. Why not bring him in now? Why not bring him in where we damn near have a week off? We can get them into the system, get them under JJ, let JJ work with them, implement them into the system successfully, or as successfully as he can within that time period, and get as close to hitting the ground running as he possibly can before we start our next game. It sucks that we got kicked out of the NBA Cup, but at the end of the day, it does grant us this opportunity, because that's the reason why the Lakers have that 4-game stretch, because they're not playing the NBA Cup games. So why not take full advantage of it? I think this is a huge opportunity. One, it gives players some time off from playing games. They can practice. They can hit the reset button, get recalibrated, and get everybody on the same page. 2, it presents a really nice opportunity for the Lakers to bring someone in and have that nice 4-day window to get them as acclimated to the new team and the new system as possible. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you watching the video as always. I appreciate engaging with you guys. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is what I'm saying making sense? Do you think I'm crazy? You think the Lakers are screwed either way? I don't think so. I think we're going to bounce back, but it's very clear that we need to make some roster upgrades, and we need this window to kind of hit the reset button. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next video.